A Portland woman said a gas station employee told her, "I don't serve black people." 3 years later, a jury awarded her $1 million in damages. Yeah, because you can't make them act right, but you can make them wish they did. We're dealing with folks who are still behind the times, been listening to their daddy and their daddy's daddy when they had that one mom and pop store with a Coca-Cola machine at the end of the dirt road. Now you're messing with corporate greed, baby. It's 2023. No dollar gets left unturned. A Portland woman was granted $1 million in damages by a jury this week for suffering racial discrimination during a confrontation at a gas station 3 years ago, according to reports. Rose Wakefield recounted the incident, which she described as painful, in an interview with KGW. She said she went to fill up her tank at Jackson's Food Stores in Washington County, Oregon in March 2020. While there, she said a gas station employee on site, identified as Nigel Powers, ignored her multiple times. KGW reported, citing court documents. Security footage the local news station viewed showed that Powers then went inside the store to ask another employee for assistance. Before Wakefield left, she said the gas attendant scoffed at her, saying, "I don't serve black people." The outlet reported, "What?" I can picture the owner of the company pulling his hair out, watching those 5 words cost them $1 million. Be racist on your own time. As long as you're on my clock, you're going to take every dollar that walks through that door. I went to a gas station to get gas and service, and I wasn't served. Wakefield 63 told KGW I was actually humiliated and disrespected. How is that not worth $2 million? After the confrontation, Wakefield reached out to managers about her experience. I can about imagine how that went, but her complaints went unanswered. Exactly. CBS News reported her lawyer, Gregory Coffery, alleged that management erased her voicemail about the incident, per reports, and failed to investigate her claim. Sounds about right. The lack of responsible management and the piss poor attempt to cover it up might be indicative of how they treat black people and people of color in this establishment. It might also be a telltale sign of why this guy felt justified in telling this lady what he told her, because there's an underlying culture of that behavior. The attendant was never questioned by the company about the racist comments and was disciplined only for failing to serve customers in the order of their arrival. A press release from Coffery and McDougal said, adding that Powers was terminated a month later for being on his phone at work. Jackson's Food Stores released a statement following the jury's decision, emphasizing that the company has a zero-tolerance policy for discrimination of any kind. I can't tell, according to reports. The company as a whole might have a zero-tolerance policy, but it's clear there's a few people in your ranks that don't agree with that policy. And at least one person who's so outspoken about your zero-tolerance policy, it cost you $1 million. Management should have checked them on the spot. If management doesn't check it, that's the same as condoning it. The statement later continued, after carefully reviewing all facts and evidence, including video surveillance, we chose to take this matter to trial because we were comfortable, based on our knowledge, that the service-related concern actually reported by the customer was investigated and promptly addressed. The way their legal team was trying to hide behind that jargon doesn't make them look any better at all, because they could have easily owned up to it and said, "Hey, we had a guy, he went off the rails, we got rid of him, he's out of here. Our company doesn't stand for that." Instead, they rather deny any wrongdoing. The phrase, "I don't serve black people," is textbook discrimination. Own up to it. As such, we respectfully disagree. There's nothing respectful about this at all with the jury's ruling, because our knowledge does not align with the verdict. And if I tell you a duck could pull a truck, you fill in the rest.